Hello people, welcome back to the channel where I do a multitude of things for absolutely nobody. Love that! And welcome to those who have just caught up to Crazy Rich Asians. Please don't be alarmed, I'm wearing the same shirt, perks of having no one that watches. Please don't leave the video, this is not clickbait, I will get to the video but I just need a short introduction. So I've taught Mahjong to a couple of my friends, at least 8 at the top of my head. And when I'm in university, when I'm trying to find like Mahjong kakis, or friends who play Mahjong, like out of the Singaporean community, not a lot of us know how to play Mahjong, and that's a great chance for me to teach them the Mahjong that I play. That's not really their fault, because a lot of young people, even though they're Chinese and Asian, don't really know how to play Mahjong because there's a lot of rules. Like for me, when I was young, my parents made me sit at a corner to watch them play Mahjong while they play with their relatives and friends. So thanks mom and dad, I've pestered my parents enough, so now I'm at a level that I'm almost as good as them, even though I still lose money when I play with their friends and family, but it's okay, still win with my friends.
That's the circle of life.
Either way, Mahjong is really difficult to teach in a short amount of time, but I would like to think of it as teaching Monopoly, where there's really a lot of rules, or poker. But either way, since we have a bit of time on our hands, here's another thing to learn during quarantine, and something that I feel at least qualified enough to teach. Okay, so for me, this video is still applicable for most type of Mahjong variations that I know. For me, I know how to play Hong Kong, Taiwan, Guangdong, Singapore Mahjong. The one in Crazy Rich Asians should be Singapore Mahjong because they're in Singapore, but I don't really recall them using the Singapore Mahjong tiles, I'm not too sure. This video, however, is not really applicable to, I think, Japanese Mahjong or Korean Mahjong, which I think is much more complicated and uses like a different set of tiles altogether, even though I really want to learn it, but I don't really know how. I don't really want to watch a 3-hour video on it. Like I know for Mahjong, you usually learn through a friend because it's easier to learn through visualizing and playing at the same time, but at least for this video, it's a good enough intro for you to start the game and know like the basic rules, even though there's a lot of rules. And at least like next time when you're sitting in the corner, you have a vague idea of what each player is doing, so yeah. Also this video, I'm going to be using the Taiwanese style and the Taiwanese tiles itself. So this is the Taiwanese Mahjong that my family plays, and the point system may be different from how your family plays Taiwanese Mahjong, but the way you start and the way you go about the game, I think it should be roughly similar, so don't come at me. But either way, I won't be touching too much on the point systems. Yeah, I wanted to do this video because I felt like all the other videos are not really like comprehensive enough or like concise enough, so I'm going to challenge myself to do it in 8-ish amount of minutes. So like this video and comment on any questions that you may have on Mahjong, and maybe next time I'll answer them. And let's start learning about Mahjong right now. Okay, so there's a lot of terminology needed in the game, which I'm trying to use the ones I saw on Wikipedia, but a lot of the terms here, maybe I'll be winging it, so Step 1. What you need would be the tiles, 144 of them, which I'll get into that later. You need the die and you need markers, most important being the win marker on the left. You need chips, because for me I like playing with a little bit of money, so people will be a bit invested in the game. I also like setting it up in a form of stacks of 6, 6, 6 and 10, values of $50, 10, 5, $1 respectively for the different colors, totaling about $400, which you can convert depending on how rich your friends are. And lastly, for some Mahjongs, these Taiwanese Mahjong rulers, mostly for my OCD and Virgo-ness to align the tiles. So let me explain the tiles a little. So again, there are 144 tiles for most Mahjong variations, but first let's get them out of the case, then flip the top 4, which will be used for seat arrangement, mentioned in step 2. So from here you can see that there are 4 of each tile. There are 3 sets of number tiles, 1 to 9, bamboo, dots, and numbers in Chinese. So for people who don't know Chinese, you can just pause the video if you want to memorize the characters. It's 1 to 9, left to right, because I ain't got much time. And here on the top right, we have the special tiles. From the left, the 4 wind tiles, east, south, west, north, 东南西北, which is how you really say it in Chinese. Then the dragon tiles, red, green, white, 红中发财白板, and the 8 different flowers, 2 colors each, 1 to 4. Okay, step 2. This part is a little bit optional, but at the start of the game, traditionally everything is covered except one set of the 4 different winds. The 4 winds are covered, stacked randomly, and a randomly chosen player will roll the dice. The other 3 players will be on different sides of the table. So first, we need to set the position of the dealer. From the player who rolled the die, count the number obtained, starting from 1 on that player and continuing counterclockwise. So since the number here is 13, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and that will be the player who rolled the die. This player will start taking from the stacked win tiles, and counterclockwise again, the players will take their own tiles. Whoever has the east tile, the dong, will be the position of the dealer. Now to determine who is the dealer and everyone's location, stack the win tiles again and the person temporarily at the dealer's location will roll the die. The imaginary player on my right got a 13, so counting again, counterclockwise, it will end up at the same position, and this person will again be taking the stacked tiles first. And now that everyone has a different win tile, everyone just needs to follow that seating order counterclockwise, with Dong, East being the dealer's position, following East, South, West, North, Dong, Nan, Si. After that, just split the money and you're good to go. Okay, step 3. This is the most satisfying part of Mahjong to me, which is basically shuffling and building the wall, so conservatives will definitely enjoy the game. Anyways, after passing the win markers and die to the dealer, shuffle everything and listen to those sweet shuffling noises. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm running out of time and this is barely the main part of the game. Okay, yes, so after you shuffled, since there are 144 tiles, next each player makes 2 rows of 18, which is the same length of those Taiwanese rulers. Now push your wall near to the center and remember to angle it slightly to make space for the actual game later. So some Mahjongs like to stack the rows on top of each other, but for other variations like Taiwanese Mahjong, this is alright. For the first round, the dealer throws a die and similarly again, the number is counted counterclockwise to find the side of the wall where tiles will be drawn. So that's the drawing wall. So for example, here the number is 15, so counting, and it would be on the opposite side of the dealer. At that side of the wall from the right, count 15 and open the wall. And the die roller will start taking. Take 4 tiles clockwise along the wall, but counterclockwise for the sequence of the players until the right amount is achieved. So for Taiwanese Mahjong, that would mean taking 4 times of 4 tiles, and other Mahjong variations like Singapore Mahjong would be 3 times of 4. Then lastly, the player who rolled the die takes 1 extra tile at the drawing wall. For unstacked walls, take it from the inside of the wall. Now that you have your tiles, open it up and the actual game sort of begins here. So first take out all of your flower tiles and place them at your display pile, usually on the left or somewhere near your own tile so others can see them. Each person draws the number of flowers they displayed from the back of the drawing wall, where the wall was originally broken, so that will be known as the reclaim wall. So here the dealer takes 1 and the second person takes 3 and so on. So if anyone retakes more flowers from the reclaim wall, wait till everyone else has taken their first reclaim before you go for your second reclaim. We now take a short 5-second break. Okay, let's go. Okay, step 4. Oh my god, I'm running out of time. Okay, check you have the correct number of tiles after reclaiming due to the flowers. Now you should always have, regardless of whatever stage of the game you are in, a multiple of 3 plus 1. So at the start of the Taiwanese Mahjong, it should be 15 plus 1. Except the person who rolled the die, that player would logically have 15 plus 2 because they would have taken an extra last tile. Therefore, they will be the first player to choose which tile to discard into the center to start the game. Following counterclockwise, the next player, if it is you, would draw a tile from the drawing wall and then discard another tile. If you get a flower, you can reclaim it from the reclaim wall. So you keep doing this until you get to a stage where all your cards are made out of either sets of pongs or chis. To obtain them, you either draw them yourself or, for a pong, a 3 of a kind, this is where you have 2 of a kind already, and if somebody else throws out the 3rd card to end their turn, you can shout pong and take it to complete your set and put it in the display pile. You can pong from any player. For a chi, a consecutive 3, is one where you have 2 numbers in a set. So for example, it could be a 5 and a 6, or even a 3 and a 5. So this is when the player that goes before you throws out the last card and you shout chi and take it as your own, putting it in your display pile. Unlike the pong, you can only chi from the person before you, that is, the person on your left. There's also a third mode called a kong or a gang, which is a 4 of a kind, but it essentially works the same as a pong. So if you have a hidden pong in your hand and you draw or someone else discards the 4th tile, you shout pong or gang. Take the card and place it in your display pile, but you also have to reclaim that 1 tile you seemingly lost from the reclaim pile. So if you already have a pong in your display pile and you draw the 4th tile, you can add it to your displayed pong and get back a tile from the reclaim pile. Whether it is a chi, a pong, or a gang, the idea is that you have drawn from the discard pile and therefore you have to discard 1 tile to ensure you still have a multiple of 3 plus 1 tiles in your hand at the end of your turn. Now to really win, once you have sets of chis and pongs seen in your hand and in your display pile, you also need an eye, which is a 2 of a kind. Now this means that you win with a multiple of 3 tiles, the pongs and the chis, plus 2. So for Taiwanese Mahjong, 17, instead of the original 16 you started off with. This is because the last tile used to win can be either drawn by yourself or when someone else plays it. So for example, here someone threw a 2, which is what I needed to complete my chi. In my winning hand, the number 2 in Chinese forms my eye, and so my winning hands are made out of 4 sets of chis and 1 set of pong. You can win however you like as long as you have the set of chis and pongs plus an eye at the end, and then you can get money. Okay, step 5. I'm going to overrun slightly, I'm really sorry, but depending on the Mahjong played, the amount of points determining the amount of money you win, and that can be found on Wikipedia, is calculated. And this also depends on the system your friends agreed upon. So it can be an all pay to winner situation or a shoot to pay situation where only the person who discarded the winning tile pays. Once the money is settled, cover up all the tiles and reshuffle. So that was one game hand. For Mahjong, to ensure fairness, everyone gets to roll the die, so the die is passed along counterclockwise each game hand, unless the player who rolls the die wins that game hand. Then he or she gets to continue to roll until he or she stops winning. So after the die goes back to the dealer, so usually after around 4 game hands, the first round is over. This first round is the East round, and the next round begins, which is the South round. A match consists of 4 rounds minimally, so again for fairness, all wins are followed. So East round, South round, West round, and North round. And that's how you play Mahjong. Okay, that's it everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was almost 8 minutes, but hopefully this was comprehensive enough to get you started on your first game of Mahjong. Really excited for more people to play. Yeah! But really thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and leave some questions in the comments so I can answer them. Or let me know what other Mahjong tutorials you guys might want me to do and I'll try to help. I probably will make one later to teach the Taiwanese Mahjong points because that's my favorite version. But yeah, let me know. Okay, bye.